Welcome to the manufacturing industry. Harish went to the market with his parents. They purchased shoes, clothes for him. His mother purchased utensils, sugar, tea, diya. Then Harish observes that the shop in the market were flooded with the item for sale. He wondered how many items could be made in such a large quantity. His father explained that shoes, clothes, sugar are manufactured by machines in a large industry. Some utensils are manufactured in small industry, while items like diya are made by individual artisans in household industry. What is manufacturing? It is the production of goods in a large quantity after processing from raw material to the more valuable product is called manufacturing. Paper is manufactured from wood, sugar from sugarcane, iron and steel from iron ore, and aluminium from bauxite. What do you understand by secondary activity? It manufactures the primary material into finished good. The worker employed in steel factory, car, textile industry, bakery, etc., they all fall in this category. The importance of the manufacturing is that it is the backbone of the country. It is the backbone of the development. It provides job to the people, which are totally dependent on the agriculture income. Industries eradicates the unemployment and poverty from other countries. It also aims at bringing down the regional disparity by establishing industries in tribal and backward area. Export of manufactured goods expands trade and commerce and brings in much needed foreign exchange. Countries that transform their raw material into wide variety for finished good for higher value are prosperous. Agriculture and industry are not exclusive of each other. They move hand in hand. For instance, the agro industry in India have given a major boost to agriculture by raising its productivity, such as irrigation pump, fertilizer, insecticide, pesticide, plastic, PVC pipes, machines, tools, and etc. to the farmers. Contribution of industry to the national economy over the last 2 decades, the share of the manufacturing sector has stagnated at 17% of the GDP out of total 27% of the for the industry, which includes 10% for mining, quarrying, electricity, and gas. This is much lower in comparison to the East Asian economies, where it is 25 to 35%. The trend of growth rate in manufacturing over the last decade has been around 7% per annum. The desired growth rate over the next decade is 12%. Since 2003, manufacturing is once again growing at the rate of 9 to 10% of annum. With appropriate policy interventions by the government and renewed effort by the industry to improve productivity, economics predict that the manufacturing can achieve its target over the next decade. The National Manufacturing Competitive Council, that is NMCC, has been set up with this objective. Let us know the 6 M's for the industrial location. Man is required for as a labor. It can be skilled or semi-skilled. Machine is required for converting raw material into finished good. Money is required for the better communication and transportation system. Market is required for selling and demand purpose. Material is required so that we can have the valuable product. And the main industry, which is also known as agglomeration. Agglomeration brings other industries, they come together to make the use offered by the agglomerated economies. The key to decision of the factory location is the least cost. Government policy and specialized labor also influence the location of the industry. In the pre-independence period, the most of the manufacturing units were located in place from the viewpoint of the overseas trade such as Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, and etc. Classification of industries. Industries may be classified as on the following basis: raw material, agro-based and mineral, and on the basis of mineral, basic, key industry, consumer industry. On the basis of capital, a small-scale industry is defined with the reference to the maximum investment allowed on the assets of a unit. This limit has changed over a period of time. At present, the maximum investment allowed is rupees 1 crore. On the basis of honor, the public sector owned and operated by government agencies like wheel, sale, etc. Private sector industry owned and operated by individuals or a group of individuals like Tisco, Bajaj, Auto Limited, Dower Industry. Joint sector industry, which are jointly run by the state and the individual of the group of individuals. Oil India Limited is jointly owned by the public and the private sector. Cooperative sector industry are owned and operated by the producers or the supplier of the raw material, workers, or both. They pool in the resources and share the profit or the loss. Such example are sugar industry in Maharashtra and coir industry in Kerala, based on the bulk and the weight of the raw material and finished good. Heavy industries such as iron and steel, light industry that use light raw material and produce light goods such as electrical goods industries like agro-based industry, cotton, jute, silk, cotton, textile, sugar, edible oil, etc. All are the raw material which we get from the agriculture. So it is agro-based industry. Textile industry. The textile industry occupies unique position in India in economy because it contributes significantly to the industrial production, employment generation, and the foreign exchange earning. It is the only industry in the country which is self-reliant and complete in the value chain, that is from the raw material to the highest value. The cotton textile in ancient India, cotton textile were produced with hand spinning and handloom weaving technique. After the 18th century, power loom came into use. Over traditional industry suffered a setback during the colonial period because they could not compete with the mill made from the England. The first successful textile mill was established in Mumbai in 1854. The World War were fought in Europe. The India was a Britain colony. There was a demand for the cloth in UK, hence they gave a boost to the development of the cotton textile industry. In early years, the cotton textile industry was concentrated in the cotton growing belt only, that is Maharashtra and Gujarat. Availability of raw cotton market, transport include accessibility, portable facility, labor, moist climate, etc. contribute toward its localization. The industry has close link with agriculture and provides a link to the farmer, cotton ball plucker, worker engaged in ginning, spinning, weaving, and dyeing, designing, packaging, tailoring, and sewing. The industry, by creating demand, support many other industries such as chemical and dyeing, packaging material, and engineering work, while spinning continues to be centralized in Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Tamil Nadu, weaving highly decentralized to provide scope for incorporating traditional skill and designing of weaving in cotton, silk like zari, embroidery, etc. India has world-class production in spinning, but weaving supplies low quality of fabric as it cannot use much of the high quality yarn produced in the country. Weaving is done by handloom, power loom, and the mills. The Handspun khadi provides large-scale employment to the weavers in their homes as a cottage industry. That is why Mahatma Gandhi had laid emphasis on spinning yarn and weaving khadi. India export yarn to Japan. Other importers of cotton goods from the India are USA, UK, Russia, France, East European countries, Nepal, Singapore, Sri Lanka, and African countries. We have a large share in the world trade of cotton yarn. Our spinning mill are competitive in the global level and capable of using all fiber we produce here. The weaving, knitting, processing unit cannot use much of the high quality yarn that is produced in the country. There are some large and modern factories in this segment. Why is it important for us to improve our weaving sector instead of exporting yarn in the large quantity? Although we have made significant increase in the production of good quality long staple cotton, the need to import is still felt. Power supply is erratic and machinery needs to be upgraded in the weaving and processing sector in particular. Other problem are the low output of the labor and stiff competition with the synthetic fiber industry. Coming to the jute factory, jute is also called golden fiber for its color and high cash value. The first jute mill was set up near Kolkata in 1855 at Rishra. After partition in 1947, the jute mill remained in India, but three-fourths of the jute producing area went to the Bangladesh. At that time, it was East Asia. India is the largest producer of raw jute and jute goods and stands at second place and an exporter from Bangladesh. Most of the mill are located in West Bengal, mainly along with the bank of the Hooghly River in a narrow belt. Factors responsible for their location in the Hooghly Basin are proximity of the jute producing area, inexpensive water transport, supported by the good network of railway, roadway, waterway, and facilitate movement of raw material to the mills, abundant water for producing raw jute, cheap labor from West Bengal and adjoining state of Bihar, Orissa, and Uttar Pradesh. Kolkata, as a large urban center, provides banking, insurance, and port facility for export of jute goods. Challenges faced by the industry is the stiff competition with the synthetic fibers. Here, coming to the sugar industry, industry stands second as the world producer of sugar, but occupies the first place in the production of gur and khansari. The raw material used in the industry is bulky and in a huge. It contains sucrose content, sucrose content, and it reduces with the distance. So the mills are located in UP, Bihar, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Punjab, Haryana, and Madhya Pradesh. But we have moved toward the Maharashtra and toward the south side, as over here the climate, the cold climate suits the sugar cane, and it has the high sucrose. And the mineral based industries that use mineral and metal as raw material are called mineral based industry. I like iron and steel industry. The iron and steel industry is basic industry, since all the other industry, heavy, medium and light, depend on their machinery. Steel is needed to manufacture a variety of engineering goods, construction material, defense, medicine, telephonic, medical, everything requires the iron and steel. Production of consumption of steel is often regarded as the index of the country's development. Iron and steel is heavy industry because all the raw material as well as the finished good are heavy and bulky. Iron ore, cooking coal and limestone are required in proximity of 4:2:1. Some quantities of manganese are also required to harden the steel. In 2016, the 95.6 million tons of crude steel production, India ranked third among the world crude steel producer. It is the largest producer of sponge iron. In 2016, per capita consumption of the steel in the country was only around 63 kg per annum against the world average of 208 kg. An integrated steel plant is a large plant which handles everything in one complex, from putting together raw material to the steel making, rolling, and shaping. Most of the public sector undertaking market their steel through Steel Authority of India Limited, which is SAIL. In in 1950, China and India produced almost the same quantity of steel. But today, China is the largest producer of steel. China is also the world's largest consumer of steel. Chota Nagpur Plateau region has the maximum concentration of iron and steel industry. It is largely because of the relative advantages this region has for development for this industry. These include low cost of cheap labor and vast growth potential in the home market. Though India is an important iron and steel producing country in the world, yet we are not able to perform to our full potential, largely due to high cost and limited availability of cooking coal, lower productivity of labor, irregular supply of energy, poor infrastructure. We also import good quality steel from the other country. However, the overall production of the steel is sufficient to meet our domestic demand. Liberalization and the foreign direct investment have given a boost to the industry. With the effort of private and entrepreneurs, there's a need to allocate the resources for research and development to produce steel more competitively. Aluminium smelting is the second most important metallurgical industry in India. It is light, resistant to corrosion, a good conductor of heat, malleable, and becomes strong when it is mixed with the other metal. It is used to manufacture aircraft, utensils, wires. It has gained popularity as a substitute of steel, copper, zinc, lead in a number of industries. It is found in Orissa, West Bengal, Kerala, Uttar Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, and Tamil Nadu. Bauxite is a raw material used in smelter, is a very bulky dark reddish color of the rock. The chemical industry in India is fast growing and diversifying. It comprises both large and small scale manufacturing unit. Rapid growth has been recorded in both inorganic and organic sector. Inorganic chemical includes sulfuric acid, nitric acid, alkalis, soda ash, and caustic soda. These industry are widely spread over the country. Why do you think it is so? Organic chemical include petrochemicals, which are used for manufacturing of synthetic fiber, synthetic rubber, plastic, dye, stuff, drug and pharmaceuticals. Organic chemical plant are located near oil refineries or the petrochemical plant. The chemical industry is its own largest consumer. Basic chemical undergo processing to further produce more other chemical that are used for industrial application, agriculture, or directly or the for the consumer market. Now, fertilizer industry. The fertilizer industry is concentrated around the production of nitrogenous fertilizer, phosphatic fertilizer, and ammonium phosphate. The complex fertilizer which have a combination of nitrogen, phosphate, and potash. The third that is potash is entirely imported as the country does not have any reserves of for the commercial usable potash. After the Green Revolution, the industry expanded to several other parts of the country. Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, and Kerala contribute toward half of the fertilizer production. Other significant producers are Andhra Pradesh, Orissa, Rajasthan, Bihar, Maharashtra, Assam, West Bengal, Goa, Delhi, Madhya Pradesh, and Karnataka. Cement industry is essential for the construction activities, for building house, factories, bridges, road, airports, dams, and other commercial establishment. This industry requires bulky and heavy raw material like limestone, silica, gypsum, coal, and electric power are needed apart from rail transportation. The industry has strategically located plant in Gujarat that have suitable access to the market in the Gulf countries. The first cement plant was set up in Chennai in 1904. After independence, the industry expanded. The improvement in the quality has found the produce and readily available market in the East Asia, Middle Asia, Africa, and South Asia, apart from the large demand within a country. This industry is doing well in terms of production as well as export. Efforts are being made to generate adequate domestic demand and supply in order to sustain this industry. Automobile industry. Automobile provides vehicle for quick transport of goods, services, and passenger. Truck, buses, car, motorcycle, scooter, three-wheeler, multi-utility vehicle. Are manufactured in India at various centers. After the liberalization, the coming in the new and contemporary model stimulated the demand for vehicle in the market, which led to the heavy growth of the industry, including passenger car, two, three-wheeler. The industry is located around the Delhi, Gurgaon, Mumbai, Pune, Chennai, Kolkata, Lucknow, Indore, Hyderabad, Jamshedpur, and Bangalore. Information technology and the electronic industry. The electronic industry covers a wide range of products from the transistor sets to the televisions. Industrial pollution and environmental degradation. Air pollution is caused by presence of high proportion of undesirable gases such as sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide. Airborne particulate material contains both solid and liquid particles like dust, spray, mist, and smoke. Air pollution adversely affect human health, animal, plant, building, and the atmosphere as a whole. Water pollution is caused by organic and inorganic industrial waste and influence discharge into river. The main culprit in this regard are the paper, pulp, chemical, textile and dyeing, petroleum refinery, tanneries and electroplating industry that let out dyes, detergent, acid, salt and heavy metal like lead and mercury, pesticide, fertilizer, synthetic chemical with carbon, plastic and rubber etc. into a water body. Fly ash, phosphor, gypsum and iron and steel slags are major solid waste in India. Thermal power of the pollution is from the hot water which are directly drained into the sea, river, waste from the nuclear plant, nuclear and weapon production facilities cause cancer, birth defect and miscarriages. Noise pollution not only result in irritation and anger, it also cause hearing impairment, increase heart rate and blood pressure among other psychological effects. Unwanted sound is an irritant and a source of stress. Industrial and construction activity, machinery, factory equipment, generators, saw and pneumatic and electric drill also make a lots of noise. We can control the environment degradation by minimum use of water by reusing, recycling into two or more successive stages, harvesting of rainwater to meet water requirement, treating hot water and effluent before releasing them into river or the pond. Treatment of industrial influence can be done in three phases. Primary treatment by mechanical means. This involves screening, grinding, flocculating and sedimentation. Secondary treatment by biological process. Tertiary sector by biological, chemical and physical process. This involves recycling of wastewater, overdrawing of groundwater reserved by industry where there is a threat to groundwater resource also needs to be regulated legally. Particulate matter in the air can be reduced by fitting smokestack to the factories with electrostatic precipitator, fabric fiber filters, scrubber, and inertial separators. Smoke can be reduced by using oil or gas instead of coal in the factory. Machinery and equipment can be used in generators should be fitted with a silencer. Almost all machinery can be redesigned to increase energy efficient and reduce noise. NTCP, which is a National Thermal Power Corporation, shows the way. NTPC is a major power providing corporation in India. It has ISO International Standard Organization certification for EMS, that is Environmental Management System 14001. The corporation has a protective approach for preserving the natural environment and resources like water, oil, gas, fuels in places where it is setting up power plant. This has been possible through optimum utilization of equipment, adopting latest technique and upgrading existing equipment, minimizing waste generation by maximum ash utilization, providing green belt for nurturing ecological balance and addressing the question of special purpose vehicle for forestation, reducing environment pollution through ash pond management, ash water cycle recycle system and the liquid waste management, ecological monitoring review and online database management for its power station. Noise absorbing material may be used apart from the personal use of earplug and earphones. The challenges of suitable development requires integration of economic development with environmental concern.